So Starfish, if you're ready, I can start the recording and we can go on with the AMA.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Like I said, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay. Welcome here with us is Starfish and Swole Dutch to give us a very detailed information about Dogemackenzie. So, can you both start by introducing yourselves and also telling us a little bit about your experience in the crypto space?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Um, hi, my name is Starfish. To give you a little bit of background, I guess, on the um, like my experiences in the space. I've been in crypto since 2014. More of an investor, and later on, say around 2017, 2018 is when I started in the development realm. Um, And so, I've been here in the space for many, many years. I've had the opportunity to both observe and be part of projects that are, um, I would say, doing the right thing and creating a safe space for people. But obviously, we observed, lots of bad actors and things like that that go on. So that's sort of why we've taken on this initiative to not only create a project that is based around those principles of keeping people safe, but creating a safe harbor, but at the same time, um, bringing awareness that crypto is not what people are trying to present it, that everything is bad or that everything is going to be a situation of some kind of fraud. I get it. It's definitely out there, but at the same time, there's definitely good and gems out there, diamonds, as I'd like to say. But in terms of me and myself and my background, I have a lot of background in the development side, as well as you could say in the more on the media production side. Did a lot of things in that as well, but again, my focus has definitely been in the programming side and API creations and things of that sort. But in my time, I've also made tools that have helped in the analytical side. But yeah, definitely lots of stuff that we've done in just personal life and in history to get us to the point that we are today.
Okay. Swole Dutch, are you going to introduce yourself too?
I pity the Doge. Woof, woof.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's his answer, my friend.
Yeah, yeah. All right, no problem. Okay, so let's move to Dutch Mackenzie. Can you actually tell us about how you came about the name and also what Dutch Mackenzie is all about?
Absolutely. So, the name came from a couple of things. So obviously, everything right now in the Doge space is, named around that Doge. Like just everybody's going with the Doge piece of it. But we wanted to actually connect with some of the nostalgia from, the previous eras. So, not sure if you're familiar, but there is basically with the premises that the cousin of Doge Mackenzie, which is Spud Mackenzie, which was the Budweiser dog at one point down the road. Well, we're actually family, is what we're trying to get at. And so it's an extension of that nostalgia. The only difference is that you could say that his cousin lives in the real world and ours lives in this crypto space slash metaverse world. So, but
Right.
essentially, that is the point, right? We're bringing back the what connects us with things or what connects people. And if you remember in that time frame, which again that's the 80s and 90s type of era, but still try to bring back the nostalgia, which is we connect with the symbol, right? Something that actually brings us together. So in that case, it was a dog that was drinking beer. I totally get it, right? But at the same time, it's like we're not obviously our dog's not gonna be drinking beer. Our dog is gonna be doing more of the ushering in that safe harbor, as I mentioned to you, right, where people can come, they feel the confident in what they're putting their money into. At the same time, it's I mean, the best way you could put it is transparent, right? People can look, they can check,
Mm.
they can verify. It's all there.
Okay, good one. So let's get to the tokenomics part. Can you tell
Absolutely.
us how Dutch Mackenzie tokenomics works?
Sure. So essentially what we're doing is we started with we're looking at different methods on how that we could do this to fund it. And the issue is that we always find that you need some type of tax incorporated to not only build the liquidity but at the same time keep the stability over time. And so we try to find the balance, and in the end of the day that balance ends up being somewhere in the realm of that 10%. Anything higher and it's an eyesore, anything lower and then you don't get the results that are required. So we went for the 10%, which still allows us to provide that 1% of those reflections while providing 6% of it directly to the liquidity pool, which basically means the people that stay there and the people that hodl, right, they're not going to be seeing those impacts as much as people begin to sell or begin to move the actual token, right? And so again, from that 10%, 3% goes to the marketing, which is one of those situations that we're trying to dive into, but I'll dive into more about that. But the purpose of the 3% is to use that responsibly in different ways, which is again outreaches, um, aside from marketing. So, but the goal behind this process is when we need to use that, when we plan to use that, there's going to be voting. There's going to be a system in place to allow people to know what we're doing. So it's fully transparent that this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and obviously get the support of the community before we start executing these things. Now, I know in most cases, most projects just execute and don't really account for that stuff, but that's the difference here. We want to make sure that people understand that so the questions can almost be answered before they're asked, right? Which is when people come in, why did you do
Mm,
this? Why was this move? Why was this wallet having this
mm,
activity? Well, it's all there. It's crystal clear. You see why we did it, when we did it. There's actually, in other words, in the world of business, right? There's this thing that we all call checks and balances, right? And so the purpose of the checks and balances is that you can come back and audit something and say, hey, why did that happen? And there's an actual record, a paper trail saying they did this for this specific reason and it was signed off by these specific people, right? So that's the goal. So later on, when new investors come in and they start asking the existing investors, why? This right there. So, anyways, sorry. Back to the point. The point of the tokenomics is to make this
yeah.
project stable, long term.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. So, um, but what you said, you're actually saying it's going to be a long-term project. Mm. All right.
Absolutely,
Cool.
absolutely. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
To not only obviously we want to start off strong if possible, and that's the key here. But at the same time, it's not just how strong you start; it's also how stable you stay after that point, right? So,
Yes.
um, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Good one. I must say, I love what I see. On the website. Website looks cool. I'm not really a tech guy, but yeah, the website looks really cool because I went through it, and also I saw the audit badge, which is also cool. So, can you tell us what utilities Dogemackenzie will provide?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of things we already have baked in. We already have a lot of the pieces already there. But again, the thing with the space right now is that it's so fresh, so new that um we don't want to make a step or take a step prior to actually knowing that we could do that. And so to that point, I'll run through the utilities really quick. So um we definitely going to have the swap and liquidity pools with staking involved. That's definitely on the list. I think where the biggest caveat here is the legality piece of it, right? Anybody can just start a site with a swap, but if you don't have the legality behind it, like an actual true business behind that, then technically you shouldn't be operating, right? So what I'm getting at is we have to do things correctly in the right way and reach out to the right groups to give you the licenses and or the permits to actually operate in that space. Otherwise, you're not supposed to be there. So that my point is we're going to take all those steps to do that right. So our first actual iteration, as mentioned on the previous conversations, was we're going to be hitting the NFT space, our DeFi games. There's going to be farming involved. All that, apologize, all that goes around that same space, which is the swap and the liquidity pieces of it, right? Because it all builds up into that ecosystem. But um, the main goal here is we want to start in the specific realm of that the NFT side. Now I don't want to get into the specifics because when we do, it's pretty game changing in the sense of what we're trying to do with our NFTs. It's not just a static picture and just some random thing. Like there's a lot of things that we want to do, and so like I said, I won't get too deep into that. But the point is through the utilities that we're going to generate is going to basically be using these tools available to us And one of the particular ones is going to be the NFT side of things. So whether that be in the realm of just uh, um, you could say artwork, you could say, music, etc. All those different things that we can now go into and do with our NFTs, we're absolutely going to do that to bring value. And so we plan to use like I said, the tools available to us that have now come into this space, which allow you to bridge multiple level one chains to make your product come to life. So point is, um, WDOs, for example, is just one layer of the wrapped layer one tokens that you can use to bring, liquidity to your project. The doors have been open to do that across the board. So we're definitely in that process. That's actually what we started with. This is what really brought us to the Dogechain side. I mean, we could have launched on BSC or any of the other chains, but when we saw what what the Dogechain was doing, we saw the uniqueness of this, and it was like they're connecting all these worlds and spaces into one space that lets you use this as an ecosystem. And yeah, it's just mind blowing when you think about it, because at some point down the road, we're going to be seeing that in the Dogechain space, there'll be almost all, if not, I mean, like I said, don't call me immediately, but I tell you, I think by the end of the year, we'll probably end up seeing somewhere in the realm of like maybe 6 or 7 of these level one chains, if not more. I mean, already Ethereum is there. We're already starting to see all these other ones like, Solana, obviously Polygon, there's AVAX. I was also seeing that in the works, the Binance piece of it is now starting to come into play, which is just amazing. Like that just basically means that it becomes an open space, and that's how it should be. Like it's always should have been like that, right? Where you can do this, you can actually buy or use whatever you want, and you just find the exchange and so the way anyway. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Yeah, many utilities, boss, many little different things that we have planned. So it's deep. It's very deep. It's just we're just scratching the surface.
Okay, good one. I'm also bullish on NFTs, and yeah, I'll be having more questions for you about the NFTs when they're out for minting. And actually saw the pre-sale is live with about 22,000 plus of wrap Dodge, which is equivalent to $1,400 field, and still ongoing. Uh, I think I would have the pre-sale posted in the main chat for anyone who wants to open some Rap Dodge. Just hold on while I have it posted in the main chat.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Yeah, all right. So how long is the pre-sale going to last for?
Well, the pre-sale actually started a week ago, so it's been ongoing for 1 week. So we actually started the campaign 1 week prior to starting the actual sale, and then we've been campaigning since. Just looking for more holders to come in, reaching out to the communities. We've definitely been getting a lot more people coming. Um, on the side, I've definitely had lots of people hit me up that want us to do additional AMAs, not for the purpose of selling the product, which obviously, as mentioned, I don't think I mentioned it to you, but our goal, obviously, we'd love to, sit there and sell our token, but the reality is what we're trying to do is spread the awareness and again bring a safe harbor and teach people, right? And so the goal is that people can come in, they may
Yeah.
not buy, but they have questions, right? And so someone has to answer them. Someone has to take responsibility and help people in some form of capacity. And so that's what we were taking on. Whether it is we make a shareholder, or it is we make a friend, we're going to do something.
Nice one. So I have the pre-sale link posted in the main chat, just for anyone who, like I said, wants to open some Rap Dodge. And so, like after the pre-sale, when will launch commence? And where can investors who missed on the pre-sale buy your tokens?
So the goal is we're going to actually have one additional follow-up call today, which that is going to be I'll tell you exact time right now.
Okay.
1 second.
All right.
Okay, so this actual call is going to be a little bit out of everybody's time, but it's the sale actually ends at 2 a.m. UTC. So, but we actually going to have a call
Oh,
right before the actual sale ends, and then um, we have a follow up call Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, exactly at 2 p.m. UTC, or um, and then on that specific call, once we get everybody on, we're going to launch the actual token. So the goal was to let the sale end tonight as you know
okay.
normal. Make sure that everything is prepared on our side to just hit it in the morning and launch it, start up the call, and get everybody ready, and we
Mm.
hit the go button.
Oh, nice, nice. So, just for investors who are getting to know about the Dutch chain, would there be like a guide on how to buy your tokens using a wrap Dutch?
Absolutely. You hit a great point, my friend. So we actually in our Telegram we posted a video from a really good gentleman that on YouTube that went through the process of walking people through this. We actually wanted to make it ourselves, but then we saw this like why would we do this again, right? So I'll share that link with you guys in a second. Let me just grab it, and then you could take a look at that. It's a really nice
Okay.
video just walking you through that process. 1 second.
Okay. Are you gonna have it posted in the main chat, or you sending it over to
Actually,
me?
I'm
Because
I'm gonna
the
send that
main
to
chat's
you right
been
now, buddy.
locked.
Yep, I'm gonna send it to you right now, buddy. 1 second.
Okay, send it over to me so I can have it posted.
1 second. Oh, I
All
don't have
right.
you added. 1 second.
No worries.
Okay, there we go. Okay, found you, and I'll send it to you.
All right.
There you go. We actually had some from the call yesterday with Tommy. Some of the actual community members that in that group, they asked this exact same thing, and once they saw this, the amount of feedback that we got from it was just like, wow, like this is, thank you so much, it's really cool. And so, like, yeah, I really love this video just because it's a simple walkthrough, just how you get it on MetaMask, both on on your computer, and but it's the same principles on on the wallet on your phone.
Yeah, good. I think I've watched a few videos on how to get a wrap dodge, and I think maybe this should be one of the videos I've watched. So, okay, moving on to my next
Yep.
question. Moving on to my next question, brother. Uh, like, what are your goals in terms of your short-term visions?
So, I mean, the short term piece of it is again stability, partnerships, strategic partnerships, right? So, right now we're in the process of talking with additional other tokens as well as additional partners. Again, we won't get into the details yet until everything is actually officially inked and we're allowed to to speak who. But there's definitely some really good friends and tokens that have reached out to us, and the short term plan is. And what I've been telling all of them is, look, there's many ways we could do this. You could try and destroy each other, or we could work together. It's up to you, right? And so the bottom line is, there are definitely useful projects out there. I've seen them. I mean, there's some of them that have just amazed me with the things that they're doing and thinking and the process that's going on. Um, so the point behind this is the short term is continue to push our agenda no matter what, which is release our products. Um, that's going to happen regardless whether or not the sale is crazy or not or whatnot. Like we're going to continue to push. It's there. We have the actual everything that we need to do and move forward is definitely right in front of us. So it's not that. It's just we need to do this strategically, so that we don't put ourselves in a position of fail, right? And so, and actually coming back to the point of like the swap slash NFT piece of it, things right now in this space are still expanding. So the way things are now may be changed in the future. So what we want to avoid is like one of those situations where you release and then you have to V2 something in the end, right? Because things have changed, or for security slash vulnerability reasons, the things have to get upgraded. So we'll be very cautious in talking to the right people. And we've definitely got some good outreach because, I mean, I think in the space that we've definitely done a lot of marketing to get ourselves noticed, and the people that have contacted us are people that have worked with extremely bigger projects, and they definitely see what we're doing, and some of them really understand. So, but yeah, short term, we're gonna hit this hard. Like I said, we have the products already in the works. It's just more about the finalizing the pieces, but definitely something to look on the horizon. In the coming weeks is going to be, as mentioned, the NFT piece of it. We're going to start announcing that and how the drop is going to work. And just again hit it hard. But the main piece though is in between that there will be additional contests. Just to again engage the community. We're about to finish that contest that we have going on today. That should finish. That should actually wrap
Gotcha.
up at 7 p.m. today when the sale ends, and then we're gonna go through the process of just going through the entries and start consolidating them. So we can essentially reach out to the people that participated, and start getting this voting process down, and select the winner. But I'm gonna be honest with you, there was a lot of people that submitted, and there's so many good ones in there that I'm just looking at them and it's like, oh man, like we might have to expand things, and you know like expand the rewards, just because there was so much good stuff. I mean, I was blown away by what we've seen.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I actually saw a few while I was in your Telegram. I actually saw a few, and they were so nice. I really liked them. So
yeah, yeah.
confusing to actually pick the best. So,
Yep. And
all
and
right,
and
that's cool.
the beauty of that to me is that you actually see people, right? That's the human level that I always reference, which is like,
Yeah,
people make this project, and so like you see people doing things with their hands, and that's the amazing part for me, my friend.
yeah, it is. This is amazing, brother. Yeah. So, okay. So, on your website, it was written that Dutch McKenzie employed more than 69 staff. So, to keep this team motivated, and yeah, according to what I saw, so to keep this team motivated and engaged to achieving the targets and set goals, they must be paid for their works, right?
Correct. So
Okay, so
back
how do you
back
intend
to
on paying
actually.
your team salaries?
So the 69 staff that you see in there, that is actually a sexual innuendo.
Yes.
So it's actually a joke incorporated in
Okay.
there by our actual writer that came up with. So long story, there's lots of other stories like this that are gonna tie into the bigger picture of what Doge Mackenzie actually is. Um, but in terms of the staff rise, right now we're actually a total staff of 8. The purpose of the 69, I'm not sure if you noticed, but if you go lower, the IPC clocks of 69 420 is that, again, another reference to that joke. Obviously, the 69, the innuendo, 420 is another innuendo for something totally different. So it was
Oh,
just it was our writer going through there and adding some actual funnies, because that's again the whole purpose of this. One piece of it is obviously the serious part, which is what I'm discussing with you guys, the project, the underlying components, the actual fundamentals or the pillars of this project. But the other piece of it is we don't want this to be so serious that people are just sitting there and being like money, 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 money. The reality is that we're trying to make this a community project. And so one piece of it is the fun, the funny, the actual excitement. The other side of it is the seriousness. So when both of those check out and work hand in hand, you actually have a dynamic project similar to like Shiba Inu, similar to all these other projects, because in the end of the day, the core is real. The actual developers that developed are real and they made a real product, but they wrapped the funny around it. So similar like W Doge, we're basically wrapping a layer of funny around us.
okay, that's cool.
But in terms of
Yeah.
staff, sorry, just to answer your question, Rufat, um, in terms of staff,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right now that comes out of our pocket, and that's. I mean, that's there's no
Okay.
change there because again, our goal is not to be draining the liquidity from this project. As I mentioned to you previously, I got actually opportunity to speak to some of the devs on the Pandsale side, which was pretty awesome. And just going through and seeing what
Mm,
was done with
yeah.
the project and how the product works, this opportunity actually that
Mm,
was presented to us by your team was essentially that we could pay the fee, right? As versus taking that out of the
mm,
actual, the investors that come in. And so when I saw that, that blew my mind. Just knowing that we could, as
yeah.
the project, creators, fund the project and pay for the project because at the end of the day, we bought your product, right? To put our project up. Why
Yeah.
should the investors coming in pay for that? No, we should, because it's us, right?
Mm,
So it's just when I saw that, I was like,
mm.
I love these guys. I love these guys. So, anyways, yeah, I think you guys have a good product. I
Nice.
think people are going to be trying to copy that
Yeah.
and trying to steal that idea. But I mean, I 100% we're going to stick
Of
with you guys and
course.
push this.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that. And also thumbs up to Ying and Yang, the owners of
Absolutely.
Pandsale. They've done a lot. They've so done a lot on this. So yeah, moving on. Can you tell us more about the merch, and also will you be sending us some pictures of what you guys got in the store?
Absolutely. So, actually, I'll post a link as well directly so you guys can look at the merch store. So, the purpose of the merch store, is more about
I,
the.
Are you
Mhm.
having that sent to me? The link?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes,
Yes.
I'll
Are you
send that
having
over
the
to you.
link sent to me?
Yes, I
All
will.
right. All right.
So, the purpose behind the merch store is that we're essentially we're not trying to shove merchandise down anybody's throat. It's just a placeholder so that people can come, and if they want to buy, they want to actually spread the brand and awareness, they absolutely can. They buy it, they get their whatever it is. So there's a lot of selection in there to choose from. um there's like I said, I'll be sending you guys pictures. But the goal behind this, like I said, is to
Okay.
spread the brand, spread the awareness, and also use it to reward investors, and in this, in some cases, contest winners, right? So again, the goal is to spread the brand and awareness and just put it out there so people, if they want to support, that they can buy. There's different ways, but at the end of the day, that anything that we do, any of the utilities that we produce, like the merch store, the NFTs, that money, those actual earnings, again, same thing, complete transparency. It's going to be presented. We'll have receipts. We'll have proof of what we've done so that they could be re-injected in liquidity in different ways. Again, back to the point, outreaches, buyback, whatever we want to do, we can achieve that if, again, there's checks and balances in place and proof. And so that's the goal here. Create the checks and balances, keep things completely transparent so that the shareholders know why and what we're doing, and at the same time execute appropriately. And that's, in the end of the day, what this is all about, right? If you don't execute correctly, then uh, that execution is key to the whole thing, is what I'm trying to say, right? And then the other piece of it is, if you don't plan
Okay.
correctly, I mean, no plan to fail, right? That's the saying. But the reality is, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
If you don't plan, where are you going?
Yeah.
Yes, my
So
friend. So go ahead. Yes.
yeah, are you having the link sent to me now? Or you can send me a few pictures and I can have them posted in the main chat, because I actually went through the merch store and I saw a few on which they're so cute. Uh, I would love pictures to send to
Absolutely.
the main chat for others to see. Yeah, yeah, please do that.
Absolutely. 1 second. Okay. Here you go.
So just to be sure, if anyone were to pick a few items from the store, can you guys have it delivered to any country in the world?
So the actual merchant services that we're working with, they actually can do that, and so they actually have the ability to, if basically in a nutshell, if they can ship to your country, they absolutely will, and they work that out as best as possible, um, and you actually bring up a very very good point to that piece of it, but let me send this to you really quick. 1 second. So
Okay.
we actually created a sale in our store so that anybody on this call could actually use the Panda sale as a promotional code. So let me send that to you. So
Nice.
basically, anybody that uses Panda sale gets free shipping.
Wow. That is nice. Nice of you to do that for the community. Um, so, guys, anyone who wants to buy or order anything from the Dutch Mackenzie store using the Panda Sale as a kind of gift, sorry, as a kind of free shipping, go ahead and check out their store. I have it posted in the main chat. I would love to post some of the pictures, but I'll do that later. I really love what I see in the store. I really love them.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff. We had some fun with it. We created all kinds of things, baby stuff. We also created things for just general
Yeah.
women wear. There's lots of things for men. We actually created unisex stuff. Actually, my favorite though was the collection of the cups. There's mugs.
Oh,
There's as well. There's a pint glass.
yeah.
So
Saw that.
anybody that wants. Yeah, there's some really fun stuff, my friend.
They're really cool, man. They're really cool. I think I'll be ordering a few, and yeah, I'll have them sent over to me.
Amazing,
Okay.
amazing.
Yep. So, okay. I would love to ask one more question. Like in this current market, where do you see yourselves in comparison to like similar projects or direct competitors?
So we definitely did it. So one of the guys on our team, we joke around and
Yeah.
call him Captain Analytics because he's anal about everything. Like he'll just break it down to the
Okay.
point where like you're just like, okay, that's just way too deep, but we appreciate it, right? So someone on
Mm,
our team actually has gone through the process of just breaking this down and looking at the competition. Think of it like this: we've done what any business would do in any real business environment and break down what your competitors are doing, why they're doing it, why they went that way, what they did right, what they did wrong, right? And use that as your analysis and your business plan to build out and move forward correctly. So we've done a lot of homework behind what we've been doing. And like I said, I've been doing this for plenty of time. I've helped out in multiple projects, both in just my coding and just in review process of looking over the stuff. And my point to you is we've learned enough to know what where we need to go. And in the end of the day, I'm sure you've been around or have heard many of the projects, and and when like sometimes when you hear some things that they're doing, you're like, I wouldn't do that, right? So, um, anyways, my point behind
yeah.
this is we're doing things differently. We're doing things according to how a business would function, and we're doing things within business practices. So there's not going to be nothing out of there that's going to be a gotcha or something that's done that's out of the realm of what you expect, right? People expect things to go a
Mm,
certain way. People expect that when you say you're going to be there tomorrow, you actually are there tomorrow. And so that's the point. We're putting things in place to ensure that we're going to be there tomorrow and there on after. But um, in terms of like us towards the competition, we've aligned ourselves correctly in the realm of how our products are going to be launched and the things we're going to launch and how, again, quality over the quantity, right? Like we're not going to just pump out thousands of NFTs of just a bunch of random things that nobody gives a crap about, right? They buy them because they're buying them with a hope, right? They won't have to hope. There's going to be things that actually do have some rarity to them or have value to them because they inject something in the realm of whether what I mean is it adds value to the space that they're being a piece of. So that could be like in the realm of say animation, that could be in the realm of say like beautiful artwork, not just some random picture of some you know duck or whatever, right? It's what I mean is like these are going to be made with intent and purpose. That's
mm.
all I'm trying to say. So everything we do and we have planned is with purpose and intent, and not just, hey, let's throw that out there and see what we grab. We're not throwing nets out to try and grab fish. No, we're doing this correctly so that when people come, it's organic and they're coming because they want to be here.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. That's really cool. Um, yeah, I just posted a few screenshots of what's this in the merch store. Um, so guys, you can go on to the main chat and check out this cute stuffs from the Dogemackenzie store. So yeah, I will be opening it up to the rest of the team or investors if they have any other question for the Dogemackenzie. If there are any admins here who would like to ask a question, you could hit the mute button and ask your questions. If not, we'll go directly to the investors. Okay. So let's have some community questions.
Sounds good.
If if you want to ask a question, kindly raise your hand, and I'll allow you to speak. And also, if you're too shy to speak, you can have your
Hello, hello,
question being
hello.
posted in the main chat. Yes, hello.
Crypto Refer, you can speak now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hello, Crypto Refer.
Sir, hello.
Hello. Good morning.
I have questions, sir.
Yes.
My question: most of the investor only focus on the price of the token and the short-term benefit of the project rather than understanding the truth of the project. Can you tell us about the motivation and benefit for investor to hold your token on truth?
Sure. So the I would say the advantage here is that in terms of holding or why you would want to hold is because long term the project is going to grow, right? And the things that we put in place just from the start are essentially designed so that when you get into this project, like if you get in right now in the pre-sale, right, you actually have the ability to be not only one of the first investors to help launch the project, but also one of the first people to involve in and one of I would say in my opinion, a historic fair launch. Just because if you look at the numbers and how this is actually set up, it's designed to be an actual fair launch, not so that there's an upside, so that you as an investor, let's say, and again, I don't know your place in the space, but I'm just going to give you an example, just so you can kind of gauge what I'm trying to say. But in other words, you come in and you put say 100 of your W Doge versus someone that comes in and puts 1,000, right? And if the metrics aren't correctly thought out or not thought to protect the investor or the smaller investor, then at that point there, what you're going to end up having is that bigger fish is going to have more than you and immediately destroy, or in other words, devalue your share, right? And so number one, the first goal and intention here is that the more people that buy in the fairy sale, the fairer it is, the people that launch, and then from this point forward, when it launches, it's literally just up, right? Obviously, people from the early investors could sell, but why would they do that? Like, it wouldn't benefit them. It would actually benefit them to hold and allow this to grow and move forward, right? So I understand there will be people that buy with the purpose to sell. Obviously, we all want to make money. I mean that's long. The short term, that's reality, right? No one wants to sit on risk too long, but at the same time, when things are presented correctly and it's actual viable product, there will be stability and there'll be a floor, there'll be a ceiling. And the point is to operate within that space and have like a good safe floor, right? Obviously we can't choose that floor, but if we put the right pieces in place and we actually put, as mentioned, the pillars, that stability that keeps us going, and those pillars of stability are going to be those utilities that we have in place. um, that's essentially going to be providing that part that all investors want to see, which is a stable token that isn't just going up and down, creating those pumps and dumps. As everyone knows, that's the whole thing, right? Those pumps and dumps are created by the fact that there is an imbalance of token share of the tokens to holders, right? Like there's just going to be people that have more than other people, and that imbalance is what creates these pumps and dumps. It gives the ability for someone that's a whale to wait for it to get to this place point so they can just completely destroy it and then start all over. And we all know this. It's a cycle. It's a cycle of whales, right? We call it. What I'm trying to get at is, as investors, do not want to be plankton, where we sit there while someone comes and gobbles us up. Nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants to be the food for the whale, right? And so that is the intention of this project, to start it off right, so that going forward it just continues to grow in a healthy, organic way, versus it being this humongous growth in the beginning, a humongous death or dump right in the at launch, and then just a complete, I would say, like, a straight line across. And if you look at the projects that have been coming out and launching, you're going to notice that a lot of them have this hype dump, and then just very static and straightforward, straight across. Where in this case, we're trying to create that from the get-go. There is not going to be these crazy dumps. I mean, again, as mentioned, there's no way to guarantee any of that stuff, but if you look at the metrics, there's it's definitely designed to create that space.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. That's a great question.
Thank you for that question. So we will be going to the next question. Um, okay, Heavy Will, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, buddy. Thank you, Unicorn.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So
Hi.
Go ahead.
yeah, John, do you intend to, um, um, do you intend to do a bridge of other network chain in the future? Apart from dot chain, do you intend to bridge other networks in the future?
So,
Yeah.
very good question, my friend. So that is actually what I was one of the biggest points that I was hitting on, and that is actually why we're so bullish on just the Doge chain itself, right? Like just let me paint this picture for you, and then I would say 6 months from now, remind me and tell me if I was wrong, right? And so this is what I see them doing, right? So they're literally staging this so that these bridges are open. And so by them building Doge chain on the EVM system, which is essentially the Ethereum virtual machine, you're essentially saying that you can now connect anything that is in that ERC realm, right? So there's so many possibilities, my friend. So yes, the question to you is absolutely 100% yes, because that is in the actual roadmap for DC itself, right? So we don't want to burn bridges, we want to cross them, right? So that is the intention of the entire process. And so but back to what I was getting at. So with that in mind, right, these bridges, the pass slash all those things that are actually needed in the back end to create this are already there in place or being in development. I've seen a lot of really good stuff, but because of the EVM piece of it, you could say it's there, right? They just need to tweak a few things, and here and there, there's a lot of testnet going on, but the point is, it's coming, right? And so now take one step back and say, okay, cool. What are all the bridges? What is all this about, right? Long story short, one of the things that I've been seeing, and something that just completely blew my mind, was that now we have more adoption for Dogechain. We're starting to see actual payment gateways that are going to start working, where Visa, Mastercard, and all those guys will literally be able to interface with these sites. So now on our realm, and again, won't get too specific, but that actually will allow us, in a sense, to start taking not only crypto payment, but as well as fiat payments. So long story short, I really see Dogechain just blowing up to a place point where people are going to be like, why didn't I hear about this, right? So you all in this room are super early.
That's really awesome. This is really a great project and a long-term project also. So are we seeing um this project being listed in future exchanges? Are we?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Like the goal here is like I said, we're gonna hit this hard. We just want to get this off the ground, get everything going, start building the community and moving forward, right? Because you could go through all that entire process. I could literally like spend thousands of dollars on marketing with these, companies that go out there and market you, but what's the point if there's no community, if there's no one there to back you, right? There's nobody there saying, hey, this is a really good product, right? So we're investing in the people first, and then the process after that. But it's all stays. So we have someone on our team that's very well and experienced with getting tokens on exchanges. I mean, like I said, we have a really solid team. They're people that have been there, tried and true. They've just done what they have to do to get other people there. And bottom line is they've been a victim, or they've seen enough to know that there's a better way to do this, and they want to do this. And so that's why we're here, my friend. So but yeah, the point is, um there's a lot of good things on the horizon, and we're so early. Like I'm telling you, like I was just blown away with what we're seeing with Dogechain. And if you start looking deeper, you're gonna start seeing this. I'm literally seeing all the partners that are across, the Ethereum slash BSC realm all start picking this up. They're literally all gobbling this up, and it's like, oh, you see the writing on the wall, right? And so, just one thing to add, the reason I think this is facilitating and moving so fast is because a lot of this was built in with that Uniswap backend. Right. And so if you look deeper, you're going to notice that what they did is they took the common tools that live in the Ethereum realm that already do this job and just readapted it, right? And so it's like that's brilliant. Like you're not trying to change things. You're not trying to be, an Apple, right? What I mean by Apple is like, where it's proprietary. Like, nobody can do anything. Like you can't fix your own computer. You got to take it to the Apple people. My point is that they're not trying to make a closed system. They're trying to make an open system so that we could all live in this ecosystem. And so I'm telling you, I see this exploding to a point where it's like, a year from now, people are going to be like, Dogechain, what happened to Dogecoin? I'm joking. I'm just saying, like, in serious, like, just keep looking deeper, and I think you'll get more bullets like us.
oh, thank you. I really appreciate your response, and I will ape in this project. It's really a good one. Thank you very much, Starfish.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Wolverine. You can ask now.
Right. Thank you for the opportunity.
No
So
problem.
I my question is about the tokens. Do the token holder have the right to participate in the governance of the project? And what kind of decision can they vote on about the project? And do you have any plans to create any other in the future, maybe a fake or NFT project? Can you explain in more detail?
Sure. That was
And
multi-level,
are
but
you planning to? Okay, all right,
no, that's okay. I want to understand your question to answer them properly. So, it sounded like you had like a couple in a row.
all right,
What was the first one? One more time.
all right. I said, do you have any token, like your token holder have the right to participate in the government of the project?
So token governance.
Huh? You guys,
You're asking about you're
yes,
asking about token governance. Okay. So,
yeah, I said
um,
yes.
okay, so in that process, we're actually working with a specific partner that's going to help us with that process of the voting. As you mentioned, that's a great point. So in
Okay.
terms of the governance, there's going to be a lot of community feedback and process that's going to be taken in account before any of these moves are done. So number one on our list and priority is definitely the token governance, or and I would say community governance, because bottom line, it's not just the token that we're talking about; it's what we do, right? So, as mentioned, one piece of it is the token itself and what the plans are with the token. The other piece of it is also going to be what we do with the marketing budget that starts to actually be created, right? And so, in most scenarios, that governance is not taken into account. The project just does whatever and says, "Hey, this is what we did," and you either deal with it or you sell and move on, right? So that's not our intention. Our intention here is to involve the community and get the feedback, put it together, put it to a vote, and have the community actually help move forward. There are situations where things will just have to happen, but there's not going to be a point when the actual community isn't given the opportunity to know or understand why, right? So feedback here in this community is key, because that's what we're building and basing ourselves around. We're not basing it on the money part, although the money definitely is important to the project growth. Long term, obviously that's where you want to be at, but at the same time, us as a project and the actual founders slash creators, we're putting in our own as well as our time. So keep in mind that there's lots of things going on in the accountability realm, but you'll definitely be able to see that. You're going to see that there's going to be that governance in place so that people can come in and give their feedback, whatever that is, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral. It doesn't matter. We need to hear it so that your voice is heard, and that's the point of this, right? That's why, like, we make it a point to, like, not block people and things like that. People have an opinion, they're gonna say it. The only thing that we block are shillers that are coming in and throwing in, like, buy this now, 555 or whatever they say, right? Trying to get people to buy junk. Like, those are the things we do get rid of. But in terms of, like, your opinion, we want to hear it. Okay, sorry, that was one. What was the second one?
I said, can you hear me? Yeah, I said, if the holders, do they like what function can they participate in project? Like, what function can they, like, in the NFT or in the stake? What plans can you create for them? Like, you guys.
Okay, understood. So
what decision? What kind of decision? All right.
So to get to the
I get it.
Gotcha. It's a little hard of hearing, buddy, but I did get some of the feedback of what you're saying. So, the point here is, we're bringing value, right, and injecting that value into the project. And so the main key here is going to be the utilities that we bring in and provide. So as mentioned, there's definitely going to be the NFT piece of it, but again, I don't want to get too specific because these are gems, and I've already had situations where people are trying to take our intellectual property. So I cannot get too deep into it, but to give you a scenario, NFTs is one piece of the utilities, but it's not just releasing NFTs and just throwing it out there and just hope for the best. This is strategic. Again, everything that we're doing moving forward is going to be done in a strategic manner, so that we can obviously not only attract investors from all over the place, but at the same time bigger partners that really want to move forward and they see the value of what we're bringing to the space. And obviously we work together as a team, or as a symbiotic relationship where we benefit each other. But in terms of the value rise, in terms of the staking, all of that is there, my friend. We're coming. It's just like I said, there's so many methods out there right now that the best thing to do is to actually the best thing to do at this point right now is to observe, and make sure that everything, like they say, dot your I's and slash your T's, make sure that everything is actually appropriately done, because the space is moving and evolving so fast, things are changing. And so again, the point is we want to stay in front of it, but we don't want to get too ahead where we're a cart before the horse, right? We're essentially, we're not going anywhere because we just put ourselves in a bad place. So but keep in mind, all of this is going to be based around the fact that we're building this with stability and the community in mind, because when we make a decision, good or bad, it impacts you guys. And so just keep in mind that everything is being done tactfully, so that when we do make a move, it's the appropriate move. And again, everybody was involved. The community actually had a say in it, and they said, hey, this sounds good, let's do this, guys. Or they said, hey, this is stupid. But again, I think pretty sure that when you start seeing the things that we're coming out with, there's going to be more bulls than there is bears.
Yeah. I hope.
So
Okay.
can I
Yeah,
ask,
you can go ahead. Go ahead.
another question? All right.
Okay, this will be
The
your last
question I
question
wanted to
over.
ask lastly. Yes, thank you. So what are your plans to promote this your project in other countries, like in regions where the English are not that good? So do you have plans for local communities? So that's my question.
Yes, yes. So absolutely. So again, one of the biggest things that we plan to do is outreach, and and that is also going to be dependent on the community as well, right? So like we don't, we as creators and part of the project don't know every community or everybody that's out there, right? But you do, right? You know your community, right? So as a community member, as an actual investor, that's also would be the responsibility of all of us to participate in that. So again, you'll see more of this, but the point is you as a community, us as a community can together, bring these things up and say, hey, you know what, this is a project. This is, a community that needs assistance. This is so I was giving this out on a separate call, but we actually work with a couple of different projects that are specific in this realm. One of them that we work with actually like does wells in a certain part of the globe where they don't have water, and the children walk like 10 miles a day to get water, right? So this is something that just like all of us on the team were just like, whoa, like we could help and make a difference. We just need to know, and then point in that direction, right? So as you as a community member can come in and say, hey guys, have you heard of this community, or you this, right? And we can start to organize that and actually make those changes with this marketing money that we start to accumulate. That is the point, right? Like use it for the intended purpose of what it was meant to be, right? Market, not pay the team, right? Because if like I said, in our personal life, we've already been, I would say, more than successful. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like ridiculous, but I would say that I've had my fair share of success. And so this is not about this. This is about actually making a sustainable project that people can come into with minimal to, I would say, very low overhead, and be part of something big. That's the whole point of this, right? So, but to add to answer your question, absolutely. Look, if the marketing is going to continue, we've definitely had some good outreaches from lots of communities that are coming out, and it's multiple languages. We actually have a Discord that we're already. It's like 90% built. We just had to take one step back because of the boosting. Obviously, it requires it to add the banners and all these other things. So I wanted to make sure that we had everything in place prior to any additional spending on that. But keep in mind that in the coming weeks, we'll definitely have our Discord up and running so that multi-language scenario, we can have all the communities in there, and eventually the plan is to get your moderators that are specific in those areas that can help, right? So that we can build this community, we can build true stability, and people can share how they feel, and then the community just continues to grow, because at that point then we're all talking the same language. We all understand each other, but then we can also localize and talk to each other, right? And so that is the only difference between, in my opinion, the Telegram and the Discord side. But point is, it's all about the community long term. And so there is no project if there's no community. Remember what I'm saying. If there's no community, there is no project. The project can go on, but if nobody's buying it, if nobody supports it, then what is it? Empty.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that answers your question, Wolverine. So moving on, we'll be having a few more questions before we wrap this up. Um, okay. Hey, John. I'll allow you to speak now. You can unmute yourself. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yes, sir. You know what they say, a gentleman never reveals his secrets. But I would say it's down under. Might. Hey John, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it, and all the the work you've done. It's just been amazing, and again, we do appreciate everything you've done. Like you've definitely given us the light that people need to see, and again, I really appreciate it. And Panda Team, we appreciate everything you guys have done too. It's been an amazing, just learning experience of like in my opinion, what the good side of DeFi can actually be.
okay. Hmm. Oh,
No,
Nice.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, John. It was nice having you here. Um, yeah, we have another question
Yes, go for it.
from most of the investors. I think I'll be reading a few questions from the main chat. Um, Let me pick a few. Okay, so Probos asked, what are the advantages of being part of the OG Dutch community?
Well, I would like to say that the main advantage is that it literally answers itself, right? You're part of the OG community, right? And so when I say the OG community, I mean in the sense that this is based on that we're bringing back the nostalgia, right? We're trying to bring back that place point where people are like, who is this person, right? What differentiates him, right? So, but again, the main thing is you'll be part of a big community. That is the goal here, right? You'll be part of a bigger community as it starts to expand, and we'll all get to see that. I've seen this myself, where it's just like, where's all these people coming from, right? Like, you don't even know if they're real or not, but they're real, right? And it's all about providing that safe place, that safe haven where people can come and know that they can share their ideas and not be stepped on, not be shut down, not be sent a link that says, hey, check this out, I can help you with this, and then send me a seed phrase and all those magical stupidities we hear that go on, right? The point is that's what our goal is, to prevent those things, to give people a safe place to be there. So I would say the advantage is that when you're in there, you could feel confident and safe knowing that you have an opinion, and we're more than happy to hear it and you can share it. Now, just depends, obviously what type of opinion it is. But if it's a legitimate opinion with a good, that actually makes sense, you're not trying to shoot somebody down or destroy others. That's not part of the community. Our goal is to, again, create that safe harbor. But if it's a legitimate feedback or legitimate criticism, it needs to be heard. And that's the goal, right? To essentially create that space so people can come. So again, my opinion, the advantage is going to be that now you have a place to come, a home, right? This is your home. You can come now and actually make it and feel safe and know that you can say what you have to say, and no one's going to sit there and say, hey, that was stupid, unless it really was, right? And then we all laugh together. But my point being behind it is it's a safe place. It's going to be a safe harbor for you to come.
Yeah, nice and thankful for those answers. I'll take in one more community question because of time. Maddie said, why is taken in fourth quarter of 2022, and while is farming in the first quarter of 2023?
Because actually, that's a great point. So the reason I mentioned that in the beginning was to operate and actually be a swap and do liquidity. Keep in mind that you're operating within a space that makes you very similar to a bank. And so if we're taking deposits and we're holding money and we're saving it, and you're not operating within the correct business practices within your country, then you're not legally operating. So our goal is to under promise over deliver. So we're essentially setting real world timelines that we can sit back and be like, okay, in this timing we can absolutely hit that mark. But just keep in mind that we are hitting this aggressively so that we can destroy those marks, right? We don't want to actually hit those dates. We want to get there way before then, right? But we're setting real world thresholds so that you're not going to sit there and be like, hey guys, you promised us, you promised to bring an NFT marketplace or a new social media platform in October and then November, and now it's March, now it's June, right? So my point is we're not going to sit there and give you a timeline that we know for ourselves that we can't hit just to bring in investors and bring in money. That's not the goal here. The goal is to actually set real world goals that we can actually hit, milestones that we can sit there and be like, we absolutely will hit this and be proud of that, right? But the reality is to operate within that swap and that the farming space, you need to have those appropriate licenses in your country. And so we just want to make sure that we're completely covered and we have all the legal pieces in place so that when we operate and just okay, keep in mind, right, that we're maybe somewhere in the realm of like a couple of months out where we're going to start hearing regulations and things start coming up into this space. And so right now it's all everybody's just running around and it's all fun and games, but as in the next coming months, there's going to start to be more of a regulational piece. And so we want to make sure that we're ahead of that. And so something that I haven't mentioned, but something to keep in mind, and you can actually write this out and look for it. It's called ISO 20022. Okay. Look that up. That right there is the ISO standard for crypto. Okay. And so it's something that's in the works that no one's really talking about. But in the banking realm, in the terms of like banking, like, any bank out there you think of, they run on a system called SWIFT. Okay, SWIFT, SWIFT, SWIFT. And that is a set of rules and regulations that banks have to follow in order to be part of the world economy and transfer money. Okay. ISO 20022 is literally that standard in the crypto realm, right? Right now, currently there's only 6 cryptos that are on there. For example, Algorand is one of them. Another one that's in there is XLM and XRP, for example. So my point is, there is already a standard, just nobody's following it. That's our plan. We're going to be there. That's why we want to make sure that we don't put the cart before the horse and say, hey, guys, we have all of this. And then 2 months later, they're like, hey, where'd these guys go? Oh, they're all in jail, right? So the point is, do things right, and things should go accordingly, right? So we want to prepare ourselves so that when these regulations do come or they start to actually drop them, we're within compliance. That's all.
Okay, thanks for that one. I don't know if you will be okay answering like one more question, or we could just wrap this up already.
I'm absolutely good with that. I want everyone to be confident so that, yeah, let's answer the question.
Hello. I have a
Hey, Rafiki.
question.
Okay. Okay,
Uh,
Rifki. Yeah.
how
Go
about
ahead.
your security? Many new projects are easy to hack. How do you deal with it so that it doesn't happen?
And when you say hack, what are you referring to? Which piece of it?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, this is my question.
Sorry, I have to mute you there. Rifki, you were trying to ask a question, and can you please repeat your question again? Hello, Rifki. Are you there?
Sorry, I got a
Okay.
question.
Okay, so sorry guys, just because of time, we'll have to wrap this up. And yeah, just for those who are just joining us, could you please give a quick summary of Mackenzie?
Yep, absolutely. So, I guess the best summary to put here for the Dogemackenzie is that we're creating a safe space, a safe haven for people to come, and invest their money, obviously, but at the same time be part of a bigger community. So, um, we want people to come, share their ideas. Obviously, in many cases, within those contexts and spaces, share their artwork, their ideas, their passion really is what we want to do, is bring people together, both on the financial side and give them stability and actually a viable product, but at the same time give them a safe place to actually share their ideas and feel free, right? Just come and be yourself. That's really what we want to do. That's why we have those meme competitions. That's why hopefully soon we start seeing more people in the community start making stickers and all these different things, because at the end of the day, this is all about the community. That's what I've been saying. Like, bottom line, no, there is no project out there that survives without an active community that actually wants to be there. So that's our main goal here, is to establish the community first and continue to build the project and the utilities around that. But bottom line, the community is always going to come first.
Nice, thank you for that. So we are at the end of the AMA, and if there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to discuss with us, please feel free to. If not, I'll wrap this up. Can you guys hear me? Starfish?
Yep, I can hear you. Sorry,
Yeah.
I think it kind of chopped up. Say it again.
Okay, so like I said, if there's anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to discuss with us, please feel free. If not, I will wrap this up.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, no, sounds good. I mean, I think the only thing I would like to add is, again, bottom line, just come check us out, come to the community, join in, talk to the people, talk to us. Any questions you have, if there's anything that you'd like to learn or anything you heard me say that you want a little bit more in depth, again, come. Just ask. That's what we're there for. So be happy to answer any other questions, or if there's anything that gets put into our Telegram, believe it, we'll get that answered. So just come, check us out.
Nice. Thank you so much for that. It's been my pleasure hosting you today. And also feel free to come back to our community and give us updates on Dogemackenzie. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you. So for the investors, if you want to follow up on updates or you have any further questions for the Dogemackenzie, we will have the social posted in the main chat. I'll be stopping the recording now and have it posted also in the main chat for those who have missed the AMA and for also those who want to listen again. Yeah, so
Amazing.
Starfish, I will be sending over the recordings to you so you can have it posted in the Dutch Mackenzie Telegram group.
Absolutely, and just so you know too, John has taken it upon himself to take those recordings and actually put them on his YouTube so that people can, that audience can hear it too.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm telling you, John has just been, humongous help. Just he actually came in and poked so many holes at us to figure out if we were a scam or not, and I think he's as bullish as we are.
Wow, that's nice. I think I've been talking to him about having to talk about Pandsale on his YouTube. So I think, yeah, we will be there very soon. I'll talk with the
Amazing.
team and we'll go there. So yeah, there should be a giveaway. Can you tell the community what giveaways you'll be having for them and
Yes.
how you plan on picking the winners?
Yeah. So, what we basically did is, and I'll ping you on this a little bit later, Unicorn, just so we can get more info
Okay.
on the questions. But what we wanted to do was
Okay.
basically try and summarize the questions and choose from them the best ones that came out. But based on the amount of
Okay.
questions, we might be able to do something special. But the goal behind this was that
Nice.
we were going to basically give out five winners. We had planned to basically give out some piece of merchandise, whether it was a shirt or a mug or the pint glass, for
Mm,
example. Basically, we were going to keep it under the value of the $15 to $20 USD realm, just based on the
okay.
merchandise. But for people that can't actually receive merchandise, then we had just planned to basically, as a winner, send them that in $20, like send them that $20 equivalent in BUSD or USDC, right? So pending our conversation, Unicorn, and once we go through the list of the people that did ask questions and we choose the best ones, we'll
Okay.
collect that feedback and get them their prize.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So once again, it was a pleasure hosting you. I remain the Unicorn, the AMA host of Pandsale. And yeah, we'll be looking on to getting updates from the Dutch Mackenzie. So thank you
Awesome.
guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Starfish. I really appreciate.
No, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having us, and
Yeah,
hope to enjoy the rest of your day.
yeah, you're welcome. So guys, we are not this is not financial advice. We only advise that you do your own research. Um, so we are at the end of the AMA, and I'll be closing up the VC now. I'll keep you guys updated in the main chat of any upcoming AMAs. So take care, guys, and do have a lovely week.